Welcome back and happy lunchtime to everybody out celebrating a beautiful Friday. It's the weekend of the big game. We're going to be at Hollywood Casino on Sunday night for the big game. I'm going to play some blackjack. I'm going to wave hi to Taylor, and I'm rooting for the Chiefs. I don't know why. I just am. I'm feeling that way. 10 times the cash is our promotion right now. We are doing a cup of Super Bowl. It's Crab Cake Row. We're doing live radio because I'm a knucklehead for the first time in 10 years. 5 o'clock, I'm going to be like Rocky and Apollo. Ain't going to be no rematch. Our friends at Window Nation, 866-90-NATION. Reminding you they do doors. They're reminding me they do doors because I'm getting my doors done. I have the little crack under the door. I have no mice or snakes right now, but we're going to try to keep them out with our friends at Pesar. Also, our friends at Jiffy Lube Multi-Care who took care of us. This is my Oprah portion of the show where I get to give my dear friend Terry Weigel, who I've known, unfortunately, for 10 years because I know you through my wife's illness. And when my wife got cancer, you're working for our friends at There Goes My Hero. So one for you and one for Veronica Land Davis, the executive director as well. You know, Terry wrote to me early in the week. She's like, you know, I have a gig at a charity now. You should promote it as part of your thing. And I'm like, this is exactly. I was trying to get to 100 charities this week, and people that got me late are like apologizing. I'm like, no, I only made it to like the mid-60s. So you added another charity for us, and I got to fix your headset because I want to make sure that you sound good and look good. You hid from me. How are you, Terry? You doing all right?
I'm good, thanks, yes.
You're going to have the wacky accent like my wife. Tell everybody where you're from.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. They don't say Shire or Shire. Shire. New Hampshire. Where are you from, Veronica Land Davis?
I am from Baltimore, Maryland.
Well, that makes you a good person.
Yeah.
This is not your first rodeo with a crab cake, is what you're telling me.
I'm telling you
Not
that.
your first bowl of soup.
Not.
Terry, tell me about your new organization, because you were excited to have Veronica here, and I'm excited to have you.
Well, I'm going to let Veronica tell you more about it, but I am the development director at HopeWell Cancer Support. And HopeWell is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year. We've been around that long, helping people with cancer deal with the non-medical side of cancer. And I'm going to let Veronica chime in here.
Well, I can't wait to hear this because, as you know, my wife is a 2-time cancer survivor. I had the Care First people here talking about medical bills and insurance and all that. And then there's the, oh, okay, you're fixed, go home. And that's what they did to my wife. So I can't wait to hear about this.
Well, I can tell you that knowing that cancer impacts not just the person that's diagnosed, but it's a family disease.
In big way.
And, you know, we know that the medical treatment is hard, but let me tell you, when you're dealing with the social and emotional journey and roller coaster that comes with a cancer diagnosis, that's daunting as well. So one of the things that we really try to do at HopeWell is to provide a safe space for our families to come together and make meaning of this thing called cancer. So it's not all about the medicine, but how do you create a space for people who are dealing with this thing called cancer? Because number one, it's an unwelcome guest in our lives. We have no control of what happens.
Everybody remembers the day, the moment that happens.
Oh, my goodness.
It changed everything in our world, March 20th, 2014. It'll be 10 years next month for us.
Well,
so that's how long I've been knowing Terry. But it certainly changed everything for us.
Right, and you just freeze. When you hear those words, you have cancer. It is so emotional that you have to figure out, how do I move forward? And so what HopeWell does is we provide support for our families. So we have peer support groups, we have mind, body, spirit classes, we have educational classes. Let me pause and why I think that's so important. When cancer enters into our lives, it just takes away control. So part of our journey is to give our families back that control, give them the information. So we are in partnership with many of the oncologist experts. So they come to HopeWell. They tell you how to create your treatment, and you become the captain of your own ship in dealing with this thing called cancer. Now, one of the things I always want the audience to know is that when we talk about it being a cancer, being a family disease, we do a lot of work with children and adolescents. How many times do we continue to kind of focus on adults and forget about what this diagnosis impacts our children and adolescents?
Yeah, I haven't thought about that ever. My wife had a woman in the room next to her I want to say it was the second time, because we try not. I told the folks at LS yesterday, we've been doing our best to try not to think about it so much lately, even though I get pulled back in by folks like you. And I've only cried 8.5 times this week, or 9.5. I actually added one yesterday, so I'm trying to keep the under the 10. But there was a woman in the room next to us had little children. I mean, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They were there at Halloween, and they dressed up. So it was a second time. It was the second time my wife had cancer, because it was in October. And they went room to room trick-or-treating, and their trick-or-treating was in the cancer ward because their mother was there fighting for her life.
Yeah.
This is the same woman that needed the patch. I hope she's alive. We don't know. She was from, like, Winchester, Virginia. I mean, her family was an hour and a half from treatment, and she had little kids. And I'm thinking to myself, what do you tell your children about mommy when this? I mean, that's a really... and not every daddy is equipped to be. Daddy's already got his wife dying, right? Like,
right.
And they're fighting, and grandmom's out of her mind, and her parents are a mess, and everybody's a mess. Everybody's a mess. I promise you, as the guy that had to kind of hold stuff together along with my father-in-law, like. People are a mess.
Yeah.
Every sisters are a mess, brother, everybody's a mess.
And there's anger.
But children, too. I mean, especially because they don't understand.
And they don't have the language. They don't have the language to say, I'm angry, I'm hurt. So we have just dynamic facilitators that come together and we give them that language. We provide a safe space where it's okay to say, I'm angry that mommy is going to leave me. I'm angry that daddy is going to leave me. I know I have these feelings, but how do I tell an adult? And then it impacts academic achievement. How many young people I've had the privilege to work with, and I say privilege because everybody doesn't have to allow you to enter into that space. So that dealing some hardship with the cancer, but it's impacting their academic achievement. So again, I just want to say, as I started off, this is not an individual journey. It's a family journey, and each journey is different. So being someone who's a caregiver of a sister who is diagnosed with breast cancer, I understand what it feels like. As she's going through her journey, I'm going through my journey. But having a place where I can go, even though I work there, and be able to say, I'm angry. I don't know what this looked like. The doctor just telling me about the medical treatment, but I got to deal with this thing, this emotional roller coaster that continues to go. Does cancer mean death? No. But many times when we hear those words, you automatically start to think about your mortality. But we're there. We're here. That's our motto. We're here for you.
How did HopeWell start? Give everybody the background. How long have you been involved?
Well, I've been involved as the executive director for a year, but I've been involved with HopeWell for 6 years as a clinician. So I walked in the door, part of it because I had my own journey with cancer, and I wanted to give back.
How long ago was your cancer? When and
Wasn't for me. It was
Okay.
it was a family member.
Okay.
All my siblings, unfortunately, has been diagnosed
Now
with
you've been
cancer.
tested, right? You all right?
I'm good. I'm good.
Because
I am good.
I've had the Tiana people here about the boobies and checking it. We got to get tested in the DNA and the gene, all of those things, right?
Right. So
So when your sister has it, you got to get tested, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's
we
it, right?
went through the whole test. We did the whole gene thing.
Okay.
We wanted to make sure, not just for me, but my nieces and my nieces and their nieces.
Anybody
and
with your blood.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. So being at HopeWell for 6 years, but it started back in 1993. We were originally part of the wellness community. And then there were a group of people who felt like we here in Baltimore needed something different. And as a result, there were a group of people who came together and created this thing called HopeWell Cancer Support. And the reason why I love this organization, because in its name is what we do. We provide hope and wellness. And I could tell you...
And do it well.
And
Like 2 L's. I just came up with that.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say
You're
we
clever,
provide hope and we
Master.
do it well.
Well,
You
can I say
surprised
it?
me.
Can I say that?
Sure.
We do hope and we do it well.
Right, exactly, absolutely. But for you with the 6, you say clinician.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
That means I provide a safe place
Okay.
for people to come and talk about all the taboo things around cancer. We talk about what does it feel when you were the head of the household and now your wife has to be the head of the household. We talk about what does it mean when you're couples and all of a sudden you and your couple relationship changes just because of the nature of the beast of the cancer. So It's non-judgmental. My job is to provide that space where people feel safe, and that's what I take. I'm happy about. That's why I get up, get dressed, and come to work every day. It's because we're providing that space.
Who can call you? Could my wife call you 10
Anybody
years
can call us.
post-cancer?
It doesn't matter what stage of cancer you are dealing with. Doesn't matter the type of cancer. But if you give us a call at 410-832-2719, we're going to answer that phone.
Where can I find you online?
You can find us at www.HopeWellCancerSupport.org.
HopeWellCancerSupport.org.
That's the place. And I can tell you, one of the things you're not going to get is a recording. There is going to be someone who's going to say, hello, welcome to HopeWell.
And that's Jeremy. Hi, Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy. How are you? HopeWell's been changing people's experience of cancer as a nonprofit organization since 1993. Baltimore, the Baltimore region's only source of comprehensive psychosocial cancer support that is independent, freestanding, non-institutional, and community-based. What does it cost to do this?
Not 1 cent. That's why we
Listen, I'm a Brandy guy. You got to get free in here somewhere. I tell people
at no
that,
cost. It's in there.
I told this to Megan McCorkle the other day. I'm like, Enoch Pratt, free library. It's free.
Yeah.
No cost. Because when you're dealing with cancer and you're dealing with financial issues associated with cancer, we don't want to be a barrier. We want to make sure our doors are open. So it's no cost. So we have an awesome development director, and
Look
her
at
job
that.
is
There
to
she
bring
is.
in the money.
Bring in the numbers. Show me the money. Terry
Yeah.
Weigel is here. Veronica Land Davis, she's the executive director of HopeWell Cancer. You're based, where is your office if people come to your office?
10628 Falls Road. We're right in Lutherville.
Lutherville. All right.
Yep.
Right around the
Across
corner.
from Green Spring Station.
And next to Meadowwood Park, Regional
right.
Park.
All right, good. I know exactly where you are then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You going to come and visit us?
Well, I mean, I can visit, but I don't need treatment.
No, you're a friend of HopeWell.
I am now.
Yes, you are.
All right,
And I'm just giving you an invitation.
I just learned. I'm learning it. Do you have a fundraiser or a big, dare I
Oh,
say,
boy.
I would say, because this is a cup of soup or bowl week, and I would never say Super Bowl. Do you have a big game, Terry? Do you have a big event?
Well, we have several events, but we have a trivia night coming up on March 7th at BC Brewery in Hunt Valley.
I know that joint. Let me tell you about BC Brewery. You go in there with your little credit card, and you go, I'm going to have a little bit of that. And you go, shh, and you get 2.8 ounces of whatever elixir that you want to sample. Yeah, I like BC Brewery. I'm down with that. They have a big stage there. It's a good joint.
March 7th, and we have Walsh Trivia running the event. It'll be great. April 20th, we have our Concert for Hope, and we have a group called Beatlemania Again. They're a Beatles tribute band.
Love me do.
That'll be in Towson. Very affordable ticket prices. Tickets are tax deductible.
If I let my hair down, it'll look a little bit like John back in the 60s.
You could do that.
I can't do Yoko, but I can do John. I do that. So that's just hit them out, head online, and make a phone call. It's simple as that.
Yep.
This is exactly like where my wife was in regard to. There's some things I'm angry about. Let's talk about it. You and me. But one of the things I am angry about is that there was. Look, I have a Marriott rep for my card, right? My frequent flyer card. My wife did a couple $1 million worth of business with the Hopkins folks through Care First and whatever. The after part of that for her job, for the hospital, for anybody to step up and say, are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, I just thought for sure if you almost died, they didn't even give her like a nutrition plan. She's really good at that. But like all of the part of that is they just like bring you in. They either bury you or they save you and they throw you out the door. Like literally, that's how it went. And that's not pissing on Hopkins. They saved her life. But there was no next place to go in 2016, 17, 18. Or there was, but we didn't know about it.
Right.
But they should be providing, they should set you up and say, you need to go find 3 different HopeWells and talk to different people because you're going to need this. You are going to, and then her mother got cancer, her sister got cancer, like just on top of all of that, you're going to need that kind of support. And that's something that 10 years out, I promise you, that's a step we missed for my wife, and something that really would have helped her, you know, and helped anybody like her that went through what she went through. Because I'm good and all, but I'm not the camp counselor, and I'm not the right guy for that. As a caregiver or a husband, there are professionals for that really can help. Because, you know, my wife struggled in the aftermath in a lot of ways, just wondering, why me? I'm alive. How did it happen? This man saved my life. How do I treat all of this? And also her family, me, everybody, you know, just. And for me, every day of my life, somebody came up and asked me how she's doing. And I'm like, look at her. She's great. Wasn't always great. It could have been better. It could have been better with more help.
How you were doing. I was going to ask the same thing because you are part of that journey.
No.
You're part of that journey.
Nobody asked. I mean, really, nobody ever asked about me.
No. Well, we will ask about you, and that's the difference.
I'm fine. Can't
we
you
have
tell?
caregivers groups. So those out there that are dealing with family, friends, or caregivers, there's a group there at HopeWell that's what we do. We take care of you.
All right. Well, that's why I asked how much it was, because I'm like, how much I got over here? I need some. Terry, I appreciate you. You know that. I met Terry Weigel 10 years ago. My wife had cancer. She was doing the good work of There Goes My Hero. We learned a lot. There Goes My Hero was the organization we reached to. So when my wife was battling, strapped down, bald, fighting for her life, There Goes My Hero was the one place we reached, and Michelle came out and literally sat at the foot of my wife's bed and coached her.
Yeah. Can I also just add that HopeWell also understands that some of our families deal with death due to the loss of cancer, and we have a program for them as well, for our children, for our adults. Unfortunately, that occurs.
My man Tom Herb from Hoffa Foundation, you know, he found himself with his brother fentanyl overdose. That's exactly his family needed help, and that would have been you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just trying to understand who you are and what you do. Veronica Land Davis, she's here, Executive Director, HopeWell Cancer. If you got somebody that's in the struggle, about the struggle, near the struggle, these folks want to give you some help. How about that?
Thank you. Yeah.
We're here. We're here for you.
We're here.
Go drink with them on March 7th and play some trivia games. Thanks for coming by. I really appreciate it.
Thank
Sorry
you.
I made you wait a little while, but all these stories have to come in due time, which is why Mark Bradinsky is going to be here. He tells me I matter. We're going to find out how much I matter. If somebody brews his coffee over here, I'll matter more. We're out here, Pappas. We're in Cockeysville. I don't want to say don't go to Bel Air or don't go to Parkville or don't go to just don't go today. Come out here to Cockeysville today if you're coming out. Bring us some stuff from the Maryland Food Bank. Crab cakes are good. Soup's delicious. A cup of soup or bowl. It is Crab Cake Row. You bring good stuff from the Maryland Food Bank. I give you Maryland lottery tickets. I'm running out. I'm not really running out. I've got it's like an unlimited amount of tickets. But we will give you a 10 times the cash scratch off, and maybe you can be lucky like the fellow was yesterday over at State Fair and win. 10 times the cash in the Maryland Lottery. Our friends at Win Donation, also Jiffy Lube Multicare, and he doesn't care whether I say his name or not. I just want to say it today because it's his last day on the beach in Wailea in Maui. My friend Leonard Raskin, who's missing out on the crab cakes here, but I'm not. He's got fresh Mai Tais and pineapple juice over there, and he's got shrimp trucks, all those things that I love over in Hawaii as well. I hope he's wearing SPF 50. He's going to come back here looking all tan and refreshed. We'll have him on next week.
Can I just say thank you for giving us the space just to share today? We are truly appreciative of this.
I'm truly appreciative of you driving up here and hanging out with me and having good spirits and trying to help somebody. You're going to help some. I don't know who it is out there, but somebody's going to find you guys and give you some love.
We hope
all right?
so.
Yep.
Appreciate you. All right, we're back for more. We're live at Pappas Pub, which stresses me out. I use this Raskin Globe. You guys are old farts like me. Remember Richard Scher? He had his gavel. It's my gavel. It's my square-off gavel. Back for more right after this.
Can we